Now 530 meters away, the Progress
Go
spacecraft
ahead.
preparing for fly around under 2 minutes from now, and
Yes,
again at
it's
a
kind of dark.
degree angle of 15 degrees.
Can barely see it.
Подсветка, то есть можно будет
Yes,
работу.
you can send the работа command. Sending. And I can see only 2 marks there, and it's kind of blinking, so I can't see it very well. I'm trying to achieve the 3rd mark. Copy.
Progress 88, less than 500 meters away from the International Space Station to deliver 2.7 tons of cargo, food, fuel, and supplies, including propellant, water, and other dry goods.
All right, I'm turning off Работа, the operation, but I still cannot see it very well. Well, we can stand by. The Работа is off, and it's supposed to get better.
Fly around for the Progress spacecraft beginning in half a minute's time as Oleh Kononenko and Nikolai Chub continue to communicate with the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov. And now, fly around has begun for Progress 88 as it approaches the space station in that mode at a 15-degree angle
We see that
in preparation for final approach.
And we are not seeing the image. So yes, indeed, we do have the radial speed at 1.1, and the fly around has been complete. Copy.
Fly around currently underway for the Progress 88 spacecraft, in which it has approximately 10 minutes or so remaining, and then a brief period of station keeping, in which the Russian Mission Control Center will make sure everything is properly aligned before final approach to the space-facing port of the Poisk module.
Maybe this is because of the reflection from the array, and it will go sideways now, and the picture should improve. Right now, the picture is awesome. We do have the range of 320, and the rate is 0.86. We are seeing the picture as well, and the quality is acceptable.
This is Mission Control, Houston, as the Progress 88 cargo spacecraft, the unpiloted craft, making its way to the International Space Station, currently in fly-around mode, and then a period of station keeping before final approach. And then you see live views of the space station from the Progress spacecraft, in which it is 200 meters away from the orbiting laboratory and starting to slow down now at a rate 0.67 meters per second. Progress 88 using the Coors automated docking system, which is pre-programmed upon launch, in which signals going back and forth between the Russian Mission Control Center, allowing it to autonomously dock to the Poisk module. Expedition 71 Commander Oleh Kononenko and Nikolai Chub in communication with the Russian Mission Control. And from the International Space Station, you're seeing excellent views of the firings as the Progress 88 continues to make adjustments as it approaches the space station. Progress now closing in on 240 meters away from the orbiting laboratory. And progress continues to make its way in the fly around mode of the International Space Station. And from the view of the progress, the cross-haired view, you can see it starting to line itself up with the space-facing port of the Poisk module, currently sitting at 225 meters out and slowing down to currently a rate of just a little more than 20 meters per second. And as fly around mode continues in approach of the station keeping portion of the docking procedures, progress will slow down to allow for that and hold for those final commands and analysis from the Russian Mission Control Center. And that is the team here inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room, preparing the space station and its Expedition 71 crew for the arrival of the Progress 88 spacecraft. And this is the balcony view from the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov, where they are making similar adjustments to the Progress. Approach rate slowing down to nearly 200 meters away from the International Space Station. There you can follow along in the bottom left-hand side of your screen. And the rate of closure starting to slow down to nearly null meters per second. As both the Progress 88 spacecraft and the International Space Station prepare for docking. The two currently crossing over the western coast of Africa, and the Expedition 71 crew off day today as they prepare not only for the arrival of Progress 88, but in preparation for later this morning Central Time and into the afternoon on the East Coast, the Boeing crewed flight test, which is scheduled to launch at 11:25 and 40 seconds Central Time, 12:25 and 40 seconds Eastern Time. Progress 88 now in its final stages of the fly around process at that 15-degree angle. And there it'll pause for a moment for the period of station keeping, the fine tuning to make sure everything is right on track for its arrival to the space station or space facing port of the Poisk module.
Moscow, I have the display parameters, but the S word value, it's
Вас понял, да, параметры мы получаем.
Changing from 1 to inaudible.
Мы видим, что проблема есть. Да, единица,
Yes.
нолик постоянно скачет.
From 1 to 0. Yes, we see there is this issue.
До 103 на формате лаптопа скорость
And
от 0 до минус 0,48.
rate is from 0 to negative 148 on the display. Can you confirm visually?
Сейчас, Коля, по линейке.
Stand by. We're going to use the ruler. Nikolai is going to.
Ну, по рулеру дальность около 200 метров.
About 200 meters
Принял. Ну, главное,
range
что для затаски.
when we measure with the ruler.
Да, периодически проскакивает вращение.
Да, наблюдали только что.
And roll is appearing periodically. Roll display. Yes, copy.
Great view from the International Space Station of the Progress spacecraft and its adjustments on its approach to the orbiting laboratory, docking roughly 16 and a half minutes from now, looking to complete its 2-day journey to the International Space Station. And now Progress beginning to roll to properly align the solar arrays deployed on either side to match up precisely where they need to be in order to dock to that
Yes.
space-facing port of the Poisk module.
Roll maneuver. Yes.
And there you can see right in the center of the crosshairs the Poisk module as the Progress 88 spacecraft continues its roll maneuver again to properly align the solar arrays that are on either side ahead of docking.
Дальность по линейке порядка 160.
Approximately 160 meters range. Copy 160.
Just shy of 160 meters out as station keeping begins to wrap up for the Progress 88 spacecraft and begin making its way towards the final approach.
Да, 160 дальность. Заканчиваем разговор в крене.
Roll maneuver
Вас понял.
is complete. Range 160 meters. Copy.
Получили завкон.
Station keeping now underway for the Progress spacecraft after the roll maneuver has been completed. There it'll wait a moment
Yes.
as it is approximately 160 meters away from the International Space Station.
Получено указание выдавать.
And we have just gotten instructions.
Формат 44.
Да, подтверждаю. Выдаем БП исходная работа, формат 44.
You need to use display 44.
And during this period of station keeping, this is the opportunity to do any fine tuning necessary to the Progress 88 spacecraft and the forward docking probe before it begins its final approach to the space-facing port of the Poisk module.
Наблюдаем два причала, ожидаем начала автоматического причаливания.
We can see indication of approach.
Выбыл командного включения работы. Дальность.
And the command has been given as final approach is now underway for the Progress spacecraft, closing in now at under 170 meters from the International Space Station.
Copy.
Подходим к 120 метрам.
Approaching range of 120
По линейке.
according to our ruler measurement.
Принял вас.
Copy.
Cosmonauts Oleg Kononenko and Nikolai Chub relaying their measurements of the Progress spacecraft and approximately 120 meters away from the International Space Station and docking to the Poisk module.
Are you comfortable with the brightness? You can toggle it if you want. It's at your discretion.
Крайне
So far, so good.
сухочный агрегат едем.
We can see the docking assembly. Copy.
So far, so good, relayed down from the space station as the Progress makes its final approach to the Poisk module, in which the forward docking probe on the Progress will interlock with that port on the Poisk. And then a few seconds after contact and capture, it'll allow the station and the Progress for any relative motion to dampen out. And then the hooks will begin to close to create a hard mate between the spacecraft and the International Space Station. And then from there, leak checks will be performed. The hatches can be opened and the unloading can begin of the 2.7 tons of cargo aboard the unpiloted cargo spacecraft.
Мишень наблюдаю.
Inside 100 meters now
The target now.
for Progress as it closes in on docking,
The offset.
scheduled just inside 11 minutes from now.
Copy.
And as the Progress and International Space Station prepare to link up, the two currently crossing over the Mediterranean, making its way into the southernmost portions of Europe. Progress now closing in at 0.3 of a meter per second and inside 70 meters away from docking to the Poisk module. Progress now inside 60 meters from the International Space Station, closing in at just a little more than 0.2 a meter per second. And there, the Expedition 71 crew awaits its arrival.
По линейке дальность порядка 40 метров, по курсу 50. Скорость там.
We have 40 meters range according to our ruler measurement and 50 meters on the course.
Мишень наблюдаю.
Observing the target,
Ровно. Красиво.
everything is aligned perfectly.
Вас понял, отлично.
Copy. Excellent.
Alignment right on the money for the Progress 88 spacecraft to the International Space Station, with docking coming up just a little more than 8 minutes from now. And then once
46 meters range.
Вас понял, дальность 46, СВП готов.
Copied at 46 meters range. SSVP ready.
46 meters, and now the docking system power up has been completed.
Итак, мы подходим потихоньку к дальности 30 метров.
Approaching 30-meter range.
Исходная работа.
Please remember to send BPS initial
Принято.
command and работа operation. Copy.
We'll be getting video back from the Progress momentarily as we look out from the balcony view of the Russian Mission Control Center as we switch to the balcony view of the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov as the Progress spacecraft on final approach to the International Space Station. And shortly after docking and once hooks are closed, it's a reminder that we'll be transitioning on over to Kennedy Space Center in the anticipation of the launch of the NASA's Boeing crewed flight test later this morning Central Time and into the early afternoon on the East Coast. Launch scheduled
Meters
at 11:25, with
range.
coverage beginning at 7:15 a.m. Central Time.
Crosshairs aligned.
По линейке уже 20 метров.
And according to our measurement, 20 meters. According to the course measurement, 30 meters.
Понял, продолжаем.
Copy. Continue.
Вот разрешен, выдано.
Breakout enabled command has been sent.
Дальность 29.
29 meters range.
Принято.
Copy.
Final bit of distance for the Progress 88 spacecraft is the crosshairs. You can see from the Russian Mission Control balcony view in that top right-hand corner.
Экипаж, на этой странице можно уже все закончить.
Station, so you are done with this page. Proceed to page 24 of Toro RODF. 12 meters according to our ruler measurement.
Cosmonauts Oleh Kononenko and Nikolai Chu reporting 12 meters separating Progress from the International Space Station.
What's the range?
And as you can see from the crosshaired view, the target that it is looking to line up just off to the left-hand side of dead center is the target that will properly align the spacecraft
Принято.
to center up on the International Space Station.
Copy.
Есть база АЭР.
Принял. Также наблюдаем база АЭР.
AR base. Yes, and we concur.
По линейке дальность 15.
15 meters range and 20 meters per course. Copy.
Здесь все в норме.
Everything nominal.
Ну, у нас дальность менее 30 метров, поэтому...
The range is less than 30, so the course range is not credible now.
Дальность 12 метров.
Okay, copy. Range 12 meters. Copy.
12 meters away, everything lining up nominal with the Core's automatic docking system, putting the crosshairs that you see on the camera with the pentagon-shaped target that is floating just to the upper left-hand side. And as it continues its final approach, we'll continue to align
1.
for docking.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято.
Дальность по линейке 9 метров.
Range less than 9 meters.
Less than 9 meters, you hear, is you see a great view from the International Space Station. Those final few bits of distance between the cargo spacecraft and the International Space Station.
Дальность 6 метров, скорость 0,1.
Range 6 meters. Rate 0.1.
Принял. Отлично.
Copy. Excellent.
Большое согласование.
Reporting 6 meters away as the Core's automated docking system so far working well,
Range
connecting
4 meters.
Progress 88 to the space station.
Rate 0.1. Copy.
Дальность 3 метра.
3 meter range.
3 meters, and we'll listen for confirmation
Rate 0.09.
of contact and capture.
Standing by for contact.
Ожидаем касания.
Copy. Standing by for contact.
Дальность 1 метр.
1 meter range.
1 градус. Немножко вклинит.
A small misalignment.
Да, принял. Все должно подтянуться.
Yes, copy.
Да, принял. Все
Есть
должно
цепка.
подтянуться.
Есть цепка. Время 11:43:13.
Есть касание сцепка.
Contact at 11:42:13. Copy that. Now continue monitoring the latching.
Contact has been confirmed,
Okay.
6:43 a.m. Central Time, as the International Space Station and Progress 88 spacecraft have connected over southern Russia, and now we will stand by for the hooks to close on the Progress to create the hard mate. But for now, they'll allow a few seconds as the International Space Station in free drift for the relative motion to dampen out before the hooks can begin to form that hard mate. Contact has been confirmed again at 6:43 a.m. Central Time, 7:43 a.m. Eastern Time between the Progress 88 spacecraft, and the International Space Station. A fantastic connection between the two, with the Core's automated docking system leading the way. Now we stand by for hooks to begin closure as the forward docking probe on Progress continues to interlock with the space-facing port of the Poisk module. Docking probe on the Progress 88 uncrewed spacecraft, cargo craft, currently driving to start the production of the hard mate between the spacecraft and the International Space Station. And from there, that's where the hooks will close to seal the two together and complete the docking process. And then a sequence of checks will then be performed before hatches can open and the Expedition 71 crew can begin to unload the 2.7 tons of supplies.
Ну, судя по картинке, выравнивание прошло. То есть уже
Alignment is complete based on our
Принял, вроде как выровнялись, пока ожидаем.
image. Yes, it looks that alignment is completed. Standing by.